up them poles on them, birdie.
Yeah, we're back. This is 4th and 20 Sports. Y'all know the vibe. Y'all know the energy. The NFL's back, so we're back. We got a full panel. The whole gang's here. We finally got Aaron out of hiding. Isaac's here. We got Matt. We got Coach Roner. We got Alex. So we're going to dive into some football today. Before that, obviously, like, subscribe, share. You can find us on all platforms. Just type in 4th and 20 Sports, and we'll most likely pop up. Big season. Last time it was just our pilot season, so we're actually going to dive into it. We're going to have some fun with it. There's going to be giveaways, jerseys, stuff like that. But that also comes with you guys interacting. So leave comments, like I said, like, subscribe, and share. The end goal for the season is hopefully to hit at least 1,000 people in the page. So none of that is possible without y'all watching. Shout out to All Business Productions and my guy Aaron, one of our sponsors for the show. Also, shout out to Shane Hunsinger and his edits, another sponsor for the show. Make sure y'all go give them a follow, check out their work. And without that, y'all know the vibe. We're just going to freestyle and we'll start talking. It was a crazy offseason. Plenty of our teams made splashes. The Saints finally got a quarterback, hopefully, after everything with Drew Brees. The Eagles still suck. But yeah.
Let's start from the top. Let's take it. Let's go through the draft, through the process.
Yeah, that's exactly where we're gonna go. So first, we're gonna do winners and losers of the draft. But before we do that, we'll just talk about our respective teams' draft and how we thought our draft went. So Isaac, since you brought it up, you can go first.
Okay, draft. This year's draft, I wasn't mad at it. I was happy. We needed defense, like defensive interior, like the line. We fixed that with the first 2 picks. After that was just,
Who were those first available.
2 picks? Brian Bresee out of Clemson, defensive tackle, and then defensive end Isaiah Foskey out of Notre Dame. So, hey, we filled the holes we needed. I'm not mad at it. There's no pick that I'm, mad about. We got A.T. Perry in, the 6th, which that kind of could be good. That could be a good thing. He was, projected a 3rd rounder. So, yeah. I mean, we don't know how they're going to be, what they're going to be until we see them, from now, training camp and on. But, hey, I think we picked good players. We're going to see how it pans out.
I've been hearing good things about A.T. Perry. I actually drafted him in my Dynasty League, so hopefully he pans out.
A.T. Perry is going to be. I think he'll be a really solid receiver. Productive as hell in college.
Yeah, that's a fact. I like late round receivers normally show out. You know what I mean? You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's a bunch of names. You know what I mean? So I'm actually hoping Tolbert takes that next step. Louis said fly, Eagles fly. Fuck you, Louis. We'll let you guys go last. I'm not wow. I can talk. We'll let you guys go last since there's 3 of you guys on here, and you guys can kind of just go off of each other with yours. So I'll get mine out of the way. First round we went Mozzie. At first I didn't really know what to think, but the more I watched film, that dude's pretty solid, bro. Mozzie Smith is an absolute specimen. Pause for all you weirdos out there. But after that, I don't know. Yeah, we just filled a bunch of needs. We picked a bunch of people I had no idea who they were. I don't even know who the hell Josiah Scott Jr. was. I know we signed y'all boy undrafted. What's his name again, Matt?
Jose Barboon.
Yeah, I still haven't heard anything really about him, but hopefully he balls out, man. Cam's here. I mean, I don't really got nothing to say about the draft. I trust the Cowboys draft process. Like I was saying in that chat earlier, I think the Cowboys are the best draft and develop team in the NFL. So I really don't have anything to say. I trust Will McClay, and Will McClay we trust. You know what I mean? So, Roner, I'll let you go.
You know, being a Patriots fan, draft day is one of the most frustrating experiences to go through. As a fan, you always have an idea of who you want or who you think fits best, who you think works best. Never happens. I've stopped trying to do predictions, but you know, obviously offense really weak point last couple years. You would think maybe, you know, protect Mac Jones, get a tackle, you're in the spot for it, maybe try and get a playmaker of some kind. But, you know, I guess everything it sounded like, you know, best player on the board was Christian Gonzalez, the corner out of Oregon. I mean, I could see it being a need. New England did draft a couple guys last year in Jack Jones and stuff like that, but they're more on the smaller side. Christian Gonzalez, bigger receiver. I'm hearing great things from him out of camp. I'm hearing that he's kind of doing his thing out there. Round 2, Keon White, another defensive guy, big DN. Coming out of Georgia Tech, you know, they're not really known for all that much. They do get their gems, you know, like they have their Calvin Johnsons, their Demaryius Thomases, and, you know, guys like that. But he did well in the combine, big, physical. My favorite draft pick, after hearing stuff about how camp's gone and like rookie camp and just seeing a little bit of news about him, Marte Mapu, the safety out of, I want to say it's like San Francisco State, something like that. 3rd round, typical Belichick pick, but seems like he could be a steal. Hey, I'll take that. After that, you talk about filling in the interior offensive line, taking a couple guards that could maybe play tackle, taking a center who could also play a little guard, get versatile, get younger. So, you know, I mean, no real skills guys. Nobody necessarily for the offense to help out in the production of points. But, I mean, hey, if the defense is going to help out in that regard, I guess I could take it. We'll see, you know.
You signed a couple guys in the offseason, though.
Yeah.
And I think Gonzalez goes well with, what was his name, Jack Jones?
Yeah, as long as Jack can stay out of
I think
trouble.
that's a nice – yeah, but I was about to say he just got in trouble with the gun. But I think that'll be a nice little duo there.
I mean,
Nothing's came out of
agree.
that yet, huh?
I agree. Jack, no, not yet. He just pled not guilty. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I mean, he balled out in his rookie season again.
Yeah.
Smaller corner, but you know he had that pick 6 against Rodgers when we played in Green Bay. Well, not we, but when they played in Green Bay. Scrappy kid.
Yeah, he's good.
But I mean, hey, you kind of need at least one, in my opinion. You need at least one like bigger corner in the sense of like either height and weight, or at least height to be able to go up against some of these bigger wideouts.
Some of these receivers are tall as shit.
Christian Gonzalez is fluid as hell too, bro. He's good. Like,
that's
solid.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I was upset when the pick first happened. Sunk back in my couch, was just like put my hands up. I'm like, here we go again. Like not expecting it.
Typical.
Not gonna lie.
Typical.
Yeah. I was expecting like Roger Jones out of Georgia, you know, help out that edge because it's been weak. Offensive tackle's been a weak spot in New England's offensive line. I'd say at least for the last 2-3 years. So, but hey, gotta trust the process.
Know who I'm hyped to see running preseason? Deuce Vaughn, bro. The fact that he's 5'5", that shit is gonna be so fun to watch. And
yeah, this isn't Cowboys talk right now.
Had your chance. Nah, that's crazy though. 5'5".
I mean, I was gonna lead it in with the Darren Sproles comp, but fuck y'all now.
He's shorter than him, isn't he?
Nah, I want to hear about it, but
5'8", I think.
Hey, but Darren Sproles had like
5'6"
trunk legs, bro.
Yeah, so he's shorter than. Yeah, I know.
Like,
yeah, we know Isaac. Like the Eagles got him from the Saints.
yeah, I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Deuce Vaughn maybe starts to produce like
Here
Pollard. when Pollard was the backup to Zeke. I wouldn't be surprised.
I agree.
We'll get on that topic.
We'll move on to that. You guys can go though. You guys can have the floor.
Aaron, it's all you to
do
lead it off.
One thing real quick before you guys go. All right, go ahead.
Oh, we on the Birds now? The Birds fans get to talk now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about your draft. Did you guys draft anybody not from Georgia?
No.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my perspective. Like, as an Eagles fan, the draft can be really scary because if you look back on previous drafts, it's like it don't even look like we know what we're doing. But I would say the most recent, like 3 maybe, weren't that bad. I think Eagles are better at finding more established players in free agency as opposed to maybe some of, like, you can use the Cowboys, for example. They consistently do pretty well at filling their needs. But I would say this year we hit it on the nose. Like, we have an established team. We found a way to keep our veterans healthy and long lasting and not break the budget. But also we're very aware of our strong suits. So we got a D tackle. We've been kind of soft at the linebacker and cornerback position for quite some time, but we filled that in with veteran players that fit the system. I think having our head coach and losing some players, losing some coaches over the last year kind of shifted things around, but it was necessary. I'm not super confident in everyone else we took in the draft, and that could be ignorance as well as a transitionary period between college players making it into the NFL and adjusting to the higher level of talent. But I love using a first round pick on a linebacker. I mean, let's get somebody that can be a staple to the defense. Overall, I'm super happy with our draft, and I think we already have a team built to compete. So I wasn't super concerned with the draft personally.
Yeah, they're all guys that are just going to learn from vets that are going to be gone in a year or two. Fletcher Cox is probably gone after this year. He's going to retire. You get Jalen Carter, so that means you probably have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis in the middle for years to come. And then you got Milton Williams fucking back there as a backup. And then you got, what's his name? So who's that guy? I can't think of his fucking name. The guy we picked at 30.
Nolan
Think of
Smith.
his name. Yeah, you got him. He's going to take over Brandon Graham's spot because we don't know what he's probably done after this year. Barnett, I don't know what he's going to do. He's just coming off ACL surgery. So he's either going to be traded at some point or be a backup.
He'll probably I think he might retire as an Eagle, honestly. I don't know how much gas he's actually got left. I mean,
Barnett?
Graham.
I can't lie, man. The pick that made me the maddest about y'all is Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith.
Bro,
dude, I honestly think that was like one of the sleepers of the draft.
Bro, him, Sweat, and Reddick off the edge is going to be insane.
Like Nolan Smith,
our D line is pretty much one of our biggest strong suits.
If you know Howie, dude, all he does is build from the trenches, offense and
yeah, and
that's all
we're only getting younger.
Out.
Like the talent's
talent's
only getting younger. So
yeah,
the Eagles should be
the
Eagles should be a decent team for years to come.
There ain't no 2-year window.
All right, so off of that, which teams do you guys think are like the winners? And then everybody give a loser. So I'll go first. I think the winner of the draft, as much as it hurts me to say, I think the Eagles might have won the draft. Probably the best draft I've ever seen the Eagles have.
It's hard to disagree, man, because you got to remember we also drafted Sidney Brown in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Sidney Brown out of Illinois. That dude has a chance to be nasty.
But on top of that though, honorable mention, I got to give it to the Texans because the Texans did something I've never seen before. You know what I mean?
I'm going with
and they really could have just changed their entire franchise in a matter of.
They could take a huge step this year, and it could just be the beginning of something pretty decent.
Bro, the Texans.
I don't understand how they can even be a bad.
I think they might win they got a chance to win their division now.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Who's in the
division? They
competed
last year with Jeff Driscoll and fucking Davis Mills.
Long neck.
I'm saying with the all season they had, yeah, they got a chance to win their division with the all season they had.
Who's in their
They
division?
went and got Tank
No,
Dell. They signed Noah
nobody.
Brown and they signed Dalton Schultz. I know that. So their offense has weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz is a safety blanket for quarterbacks, man. He's just gonna
And
sit there,
CJ
hit
CJ Stroud.
They
Yeah,
got
CJ
their
Stroud told them to draft Tank Dell.
They got
He told
arguably
them
the best
get him.
quarterback, and then traded up and got the best defensive player in the whole draft, bro.
I was
You might be
surprised by
wrong, but
that move.
pretty sure
Bro,
Tank Dell led the nation in separation. Like Tank Dell's nice, bro.
He's fast and shifty.
They got that linebacker out of Alabama, didn't they?
I was gonna say they grabbed
Yeah.
somebody else too that was nice. Tua or whatever.
They
Is
got
that his name?
CJ Stroud first, and then traded up to get
Henry Toa.
I would go with that.
Yeah,
Henry T.O.
Yeah, Henry T.O.
Toto. Henry Toto.
But as for like loser in the draft,
Everybody, if you weren't the top three in terms of how well you drafted, then you pretty much lost because you missed
I
great
think this draft was
opportunities.
deep.
I mean,
Nah, a lot
I
of
think
teams
this draft
did
was deep.
great.
I think this draft
This
was
was a
deep.
really good draft, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like a
It's
lot
hard
of
to
teams
really
did
lot
know
of
which
lot
ones
of
are-
depth, lot
Could you
of
say
depth, and a
could
lot
you
of
say the
different places.
Lions maybe? Because a lot of the picks, a lot of people were saying
Hell
they reached
no.
on them.
The Lions did great, bro. They
I think
fucking
so too, but I
Swift and
think
them left. They pick up
everybody was
Jameer.
bitching because they reached for Jamar Gibbs, they reached for that linebacker and somebody else, I think. But
Nah.
if you
got
think
Hendon
about it, those
Hooker,
are guys,
yeah.
those are positions they needed. Just because they
Yeah, nah.
drafted them too early, what's it matter? They were things they needed, and they
Nah,
got ball
they did
players.
a
No,
real good
I think
draft.
that's the
And
win, man.
it's also you look at it too. The two positions that they drafted in the first round are two of the most devalued positions in the NFL.
The
Talk about
Packers,
running
they
back.
won't.
People don't just look at what's going on. I mean, Saquon got his money today, but you know, you got Josh Jacobs still out there. You got other guys that are struggling. You know, in the sense of like being a running back. He wants his new deal out in LA. And then linebackers. I mean, one of the big reasons that I'm hearing Marte Mapu going back to New England's draft is like a player and everything, because they're probably going to use him and guys like Adrian Phillips in sub packages and be playing linebackers. So they're not actual linebackers; they're just bigger safeties. Listen, Detroit got two ballers. Jameer Gibbs is nice. He was nice at Georgia Tech, bro. Transferred to Alabama. Was nice at Bama. You know, you got two ballers. Letting Jamal Williams go, I think, hurts a little less with his touchdown production.
Him and Swift.
It helps getting someone like Gibbs.
I saw a
He's
video
a
of
goal line
him
threat.
freaking routing somebody up, just sidestepped him, and he was out of this. The guy was out of the video.
Bro, I want Jameer Gibbs is who I wanted.
Bro, Amon Ross.
Well, I think they grabbed him at 12. They were
touchdowns
scared of a
in
couple
practice
teams
today.
gonna draft him between picks 15 and 20. That's why they were like, "Fuck it, we'll take him at 12."
Like this is before this is right after Tony Pollard signed the franchise tag and before the Brandon Cooks trade. So I either wanted Jameer Gibbs or Zay Flowers. That's who I wanted out of the first round.
Zay Flowers, that's a good name.
Are we talking
And
about that
also-
today? Are we talking about that running back, the running back conversation today? Because I think that's really important at some point.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
Because that's tragic.
Hold on. Let's get
tragic
through
what
this
they're
and
doing
then
to
we'll
them,
move
man.
on. Yeah, we'll move on to that. Let's just get through the draft shit real quick. Isaac, go ahead.
All right.
Winner and loser.
My winner.
I forget
I
a lot of
said
the drafts.
Texans, Houston, just because they went from like probably like one of the worst teams to they could probably compete for their division. I liked everything from the coaching signing to who they brought in. The loser, I'm gonna have to go with Tampa Bay, bro. They didn't bring in no quarterback. They're going with Brad Baker Mayfield. I don't even know what they did in the draft. I think they brought in like one good old lineman. Like
I was gonna say they probably just got a lineman. It seems like that's all they draft.
yeah, I think Tampa had like the worst draft. They didn't really do nothing. I feel like they're tanking for Caleb Williams. That's what it seems like. If you're trying to go in the season with Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'd say Tampa. What sucks is they still got their two good ass receivers there, and they're just gonna have to. Bro, if they're sitting there with these two quarterbacks, they probably know what's up. The team probably told them like, look, we're tanking to get Caleb Williams. Just hold it down for a season. Like,
Evans, Mike Evans already played with hundreds of quarterbacks.
why
I
the
saw an
fuck
interview
would
with Antoine
Evans or
Winfield
Godwin
saying
want to
that.
stay there with them guys?
Bro, Baker ain't
I saw
terrible.
a video. Antoine Winfield said they're competing. Like he said, both Trask and Baker are competing. You know what I mean? Like,
He's not, but Baker's not gonna take him to no playoffs, or he's not gonna. Come on now, like.
I mean, they got the weapons a little. They got a couple weapons, but I think Fournette's out of there. He just visited with the Patriots.
Yeah,
They got Mike
they're
Evans. I don't know who their other
room scares
receivers
me a
are. I
bit.
can't think.
They still got
They still got
Godwin, Gage.
Scotty Miller still, I think, there. I
don't really got tight ends though. They got that Chris Otten, I think is how you say his last name.
I think they have OJ Howard.
They're decent, but think about all the teams, bro. All these teams are getting stacked.
Could be wrong.
They're still decent.
My boy.
Like, decent's not gonna do you enough, like, at all.
Yeah, you got to score points nowadays.
Teams are like loading up, and they're just decent. That's my picks. Houston.
Go ahead, Matt.
Eagles as winner, and then Green Bay as loser.
Really? That's like keep it simple.
Didn't get a receiver in the first round.
No, they were just very bland.
Wait, who's your loser? Tampa Bay?
No, Green Bay.
Who did Green Bay take? They took Kincaid?
They drafted a receiver.
No, I think they took Kincaid in the first round.
Yeah.
The first round pick, they took the D end out of I think it was Iowa, the Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Ew. Oh yeah, they definitely.
Kincaid went to Buffalo.
Oh, that's a
don't sleep on Van Ness. He might be something.
But they got Dawson Knox.
As for I mean, yeah, he's probably gonna be something, but like talent wise, man, nah.
He was not a first round pick in my opinion.
There's better picks.
That's all they draft too is D linemen. Green Bay. That's why Aaron Rodgers is sick of them.
Like O linemen.
They would never get that mugger receiver, and guys like, I'm getting out of here. These mugs, they're gonna draft another DN. It's exactly what they did.
They got one this year though, right? Like second round, they got a receiver pretty high.
I think so.
I remember seeing something saying like, "Oh, now Green Bay wants to draft a receiver after Aaron Rodgers leaves."
Yeah, I think Green Bay drafted like 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah,
in the receiver department late in the draft, but yeah, they never did that for A-Rob really.
Yeah. Speaking of receivers out of the draft, so if y'all play fantasy, Puka Nacua better get valuable reps in the Rams. Watch.
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but I could see it.
Alex, who's your team, Alex?
Huh? My teams? The Eagles, because we also forgot about Kaylee Ringo in the 4th round. We robbed all the teams for him.
His hips are stiff. Watch his tape against Ohio State.
Huh?
His hips are stiff. Watch his tape against Ohio State.
Yeah, I agree, but for the 4th round, they said he was at least probably a round 2, maybe round 3. But his hips are stiff, but he's got potential.
Yeah.
Bro, he's like 6'2", 215, I think, maybe a little bit bigger.
He's not going to start.
He's
so
he punches at the ball. He got that like peanut instinct. He punches at the ball.
Yeah, they're also talking about possible position switch to safety.
So I think that would be a good move for him.
And then we got Nolan Smith at pick 30. That's highway robbery there. How he should go to jail. And then for the loser, I'd say Green Bay as well.
In fact, we all said that Nolan Smith might have been the steal of the draft.
Yeah, he should be in jail right now for getting him at 30.
Bro, he gets with the right type of people. He puts on weight and he really gets in like the lab, bro. You might be looking at him like
he's already said he's been working. I think he went to Von Miller's camp. He was there.
He's fast off the line, man.
So he's been working. He's been working with vets, shit like that. So Hassan. So he's learning from Hassan Reddick, which is the same body type, the same build.
Yeah, that's his comparison.
That's huge. That's huge.
No.
Crazy.
Nice. But Aaron, you go ahead. You can do yours.
Me personally, I think the winner of the draft probably Eagles, and maybe I think loser of the draft, maybe Falcons. I mean, they got
that too.
they got their running back, but ultimately, like I mean, and that might be biased because that team needs a lot of help. So maybe I'm kind of thinking that they might have really just overloaded the draft, kind of get some young guys in that team, but I don't think they have anywhere close to the pieces they need to be competitive.
I forgot about that one. You got a good point with that.
That I think drafting a
That
running
was
back that high
that
is just not
surprised
worth it.
me.
It's because they did a lot in free agents.
My pick kind of leads into that conversation about running backs and that whole dilemma, because it's like it makes sense to get a young, really talented running back early in the draft, because even though you can get a talented one for cheaper later, you're going to get your most production fresh into the league, and they have the shortest shelf life among position players. So
I feel like now they just made themselves predictable. Like, there's going to be a running team. You got fucking Algier. You bring Bijan in. You still got Patterson. You hardly got receivers, so you just know what the Falcons are going to be.
Arthur Smith, the head coach, about to run him like he ran Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they're going to
run him in the dirt.
They're going to kind of be like San Fran, just run until they can get play action.
They got a decent O-line, though. They got Lindstrom. What's his name? Lindstrom over there, the right guard. He's solid. Is that his name?
Yeah,
they got a decent O-line. They made a bunch of moves. They made a bunch of moves, like, free agency-wise. Like, that defense is something to think about in Atlanta, bro. That defense is going to fly around.
Jesse Bates was huge.
Yeah, they got all our backups.
They got Jeff Okuda. As well.
Jeff Okuda. Now they got him, AJ Terrell, whatever, and Jesse Bates.
Serious, bro. And who's the linebacker they got too? What's his name? Jeremy Evans.
No, they got Caden Ellis from us. That's what I'm saying. They picked up Caden Ellis, but he was like our fucking fortune. He's a dog. He played like when Pete Werner was hurt, but he was like our fucking third string, bro. So. And they got David Onyemata from us, D tackle.
All right, Rona.
So I got quick two. For me, I have two teams in my opinion that won. I'm gonna piggyback off the Eagles talk. I'm gonna go one last time with Nolan Smith. The biggest thing that I learned and loved hearing about him is that he was the main leader, the main voice of that dog's defense. He was the one that Jalen Carter listened and respected. He's the one Jordan Davis listened to and respected, Keely Ringo. So, I know Jalen Carter, he has his issue still with the driving shit and all that. And if you got a dog, but he's also like the leader of that team with a bunch of other dogs.
Respected, smart.
Yeah. So I think they're a winner for me. Another winner for me, real quick, would be Seattle. I like them picking up Zach Charbonnet, or Charbonnet, however you say his last name, putting him together with K9. That's a nasty backfield. Jackson Smith and Jigba to go underneath with DK and Tyler Lockett.
You're right. I forgot about that pick.
Devin Witherspoon, the corner from Illinois that they took.
Oh, damn. They got a lot of good picks.
Put him opposite of Tariq Woolen. I
forgot about
that. They still got that Kobe
Gino
Bryant.
Has a year like he did, bro. Oh my God, they
still have that Kobe Bryant dude too. So
I think Roner.
Maybe they.
Off that the leadership thing with Nolan. Also, Nakobe Dean was a leader on the 21 defense. Bro, you seen the video of when the linebacker next to him ran into him and almost let up a touchdown? That mug gripped his face mask, yelling in his face. Next play, he smoked the quarterback in the backfield for a loss. The guy got his face again.
I was about to say, he made the play the next play.
Yeah. So we got that, like two young leaders.
Going to be competitive.
And then I would say losers for me. Not going to lie, I take two losers again. I'm going with the Cardinals. I don't know what direction they're trying to go into. I know Kyler Murray's out. You trade down when you need help all over, and like, I like that first round pick. Yeah, I like that first round pick. I think Campbell, I think is his last name. Paris Johnson. The O tackle out of Ohio State. I think he'll be nice and solid. But corner, you lost Byron Murphy. J.J. Watt retires.
Buda Baker might be on the move.
Yeah, Buda's looking to be out. I don't know what they're gonna do with Isaiah Simmons, like their defense. Like you
They
talk
switched
about a
him to
team.
safety or corner.
Yeah.
He's getting changed to corner.
That's an interesting move to me. I mean,
I
I don't know
I
why,
don't.
because wasn't he a safety?
he
He
was
was
a
a
No, he's a
safety in college,
linebacker.
right?
he was a safety linebacker in Clemson. He was like one
In
of those
Is it
Clemson, yeah.
hybrids.
corner?
But they'd also use him off the edge in certain like passing situations because they knew
Yeah.
that him being an athlete, him being in college.
Who the hell is that?
Gosh.
But I don't get it because you have Kyler Murray, you already paid him, so whether you believe in him or not, like you're kind of stuck with that,
Yeah,
in
you're
my
stuck
opinion.
with him, man.
And so you're not really tanking for Caleb. At least I don't see you doing that. So unless you're tanking to try and get that first or second pick to just scoop up Marvin Harrison Jr. and try and pair that, I don't know. But like for me, it was questionable.
That's a good
And
point. I
another
forgot
team
about
I
that.
would go with would be the Chargers. You got Quinn Johnson, the receiver from TCU.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me just of Mike Williams. Mike Williams gets hurt a lot. Keenan Allen gets hurt a lot. For me, like they didn't really address certain things that like they just keep kind of saying status quo in my eyes. With like you're in
Every
a
year.
division, you're in a division with Kansas City, so you got to bring it. Like they have pieces, but the pieces don't ever seem to either fit or be healthy. And it's kind of like
Yeah, I agree.
they're like the AFC version of what Minnesota was to me. Before when they had Dalvin Cook last year, Thielen, all this other stuff. So I don't know, like they just seem to be treading water. I mean, I just saw something about Justin Herbert getting paid. Bro is going to be getting like $100 million in 2025. That's
Damn.
crazy.
Holy
But
shit.
Not to mention they drafted a receiver and a Kellen Moore offense. All three of them about to be running hella curls.
Watch.
Curls.
They
They'll
just
have a nasty offense. Kellen Moore is just going to turn them to nastiness, and you're going to be sick.
they got no. They really don't have any linebacker play out in LA. I like Khalil Mack. He is older now. A lot of money. Joey Bosa, a lot of money. My boy Sebastian Joseph Day from Stroudsburg High School, local kid, played against him in high school. Think he's pretty nut. I think he's nasty. But I don't know. J.C. Jackson, again, being a Patriots fan, maybe he was just a system guy. He was hurt last year, so can't really knock him for not being available to even see if he could produce. But I don't know. Derwin James, super talented, usually gets hurt. Nasir Adderley retired early. That was interesting to me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
About that.
That's just
I like Asante Samuel Jr. though.
So I was about to say, Sante Samuel
He had
Jr.
what? Then he had like that
He had like 3 picks in the
interception
playoff
game
game in
against.
the first
lots of
half.
moments.
Yeah.
First half.
I like him.
Yeah, and then they choked that away.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Homer, Bryce Harper, Homer.
Did Bryce go yard? Love to see it. Nationals suck, so I just root for certain players. But off of that, we can roll straight into the winners and losers of the free agency. I was already talking about the Falcons. The Falcons made a crazy splash. And I'm gonna give a shout out to the Cowboys front office because they actually did something. Nothing really crazy. Got a couple bets for some fifth-round picks. A couple teams that made some big splashes in the offseason. A couple guys getting paid. Rona already talked about Herbert. Trayvon Diggs got his bag today. Saquon got his bag. So, talking about that Eagles
What?
D-line.
What do you mean Saquon got his bag? Like, can we talk about that for just 20 seconds? That was a pity signing. They're really screwing Saquon, and we
I
should be
think there was
upset
only a
because that's
million.
someone
I think
from
it was.
that's someone from our hood,
Definitely.
bro, that really made it, and they're screwing him.
If you think about
Wasn't
it,
it only $1 million more than the franchise tag?
Bro,
Just $1 million more?
he has a chance to make $2 million more than what
the franchise tag was.
Hold up,
Yeah,
think
like
about it though.
he ain't getting no bag.
Most of that being guaranteed
Nah,
with the
he
way the
ain't.
running back contracts are going. With the way the running back contracts are going, bro, it was actually smart on his part. He's gonna get his money.
Yeah, I know, but like when you
so quick to sign
banking
that
on himself
franchise
this
tag,
year.
that's a franchise cornerstone of your team recently that when people talked about the Giants, like real people talked about the Giants, no one's talking about Daniel Jones. No one knows any of these wide receivers that are making a actual dent on the team. You know what I mean? It's like he's a guy who, even if your team was going to be bad, you would watch your team play because Saquon's going to break 7 tackles and run for 12 yards. And it's like,
He was
I'm
the
not
reason
saying
they
they
were
they
like
dropped
what
mad
6-2.
bread
They're
on
not
him,
dumb
but
either.
He
there's
was the
something
reason
you
they
could
went
have
like
did. Like
6-2. So I thought,
overall,
yeah, I don't know.
he hasn't been like a winning factor on the team, but he has been keeping the team relevant in terms of viewership. I mean, I don't like the Giants at all, but I want to watch the kid play.
Saquon's a
Sequin,
dog, but
Sequin
to me,
overrated.
he needs to stay healthy, man. I mean, shit.
But
to
also,
me,
like, if you think about it, running backs aren't lasting very long now. And now a
He
normal
does miss
contract
time.
is 3 to 5 years. If you go sign them in year 3 and you sign them to a 5-year extension, you're expecting them to be 8-year vets. And after that, their production starts to slow down. But now you're paying them high dollar money, but now they're slowing down at that point.
The argument is that their big contract comes fresh when they come into the league, right? They get their first. If you're a top drafted running back,
Yeah.
you'll get big money. The other argument is, like you've seen the Eagles do in the past, we'll sign that real fat 1-year deal for a power back, or some veteran that when he steps on the field, he can give you exactly what he's given you throughout his career. But I think now that a lot of teams are going running back by committee, it's like almost they're like devaluing the running back position. But if we didn't have these kind of guys doing like workhorses, like the true workhorses that we're used to seeing, how many of these teams are actually going to be really talented if you don't have that number one guy, like a true number one running back? You don't see that as much anymore.
that's hard to come by.
But a running back by
that's like
position is
Saquon.
very great. Very good.
The Chiefs just won the Super Bowl with a 6th-round pick, bro. And on top of that, like.
But they're a running back by
But
committee too.
yeah, they won it with a 6th-round pick, but that team's so established that they're not relying on their run game. You know what I mean? Like some teams are relying heavily on the run game, and they should value running backs for that reason.
So you're saying the Giants should understand?
Todd Gurley and David Johnson.
What I'm saying is they shouldn't have gave Daniel Jones the fat contract for him being actually very mid. And, they should have – I don't expect Saquon to get this huge contract, but they should have said, like, hey, like when people talk about the Giants, the first name that's coming up is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, you're right.
And they should have done right by him,
And what he did in the first half of the season, bro, he had like 700 yards and like 7 touchdowns in like the first 8 games.
Came back from injury except for the first time and produced, right? I mean –
I don't know. For
a bad team.
You look at it, Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs both were like top 3, top 5 in the NFL in like total touches. You're talking about like they had the ball like at least like 300 plus times, I want to say, between running rushes and catches. Giants offense doesn't go without Saquon, the same way that Raiders offense doesn't go without
You can
Josh
plug
Jacobs.
and play any quarterback in the Giants team, really, and as long as you have Saquon, you're gonna get the same result. If you don't have a true number one quarterback, you're going to look to your running back to get them extra yards. Like they don't have wide receivers that are game changers.
I would gladly take a real conversation about Danny Dimes, and if you're a believer that he's the savior of your franchise, because the way I look at it, he's not. He hasn't done anything.
I haven't seen a single Giants fan make that
without
argument.
Saquon last year, they're not doing anything.
They're not relevant.
Let's not even say,
right now.
And
let's not say they're not doing anything. They're not relevant as a team, right? They're not relevant. No one's talking about the Giants if they don't have a star like Saquon.
And now they paid their quarterback. That's the route they want to take. But for them, Dexter Lawrence is coming up.
That's the standard. That's the standard.
And they got absolutely smoked in the playoff game by us.
I wasn't shocked.
I think they got a good wide receiver in the draft, man.
Hyatt.
Yeah, Hyatt.
They don't know how to get veteran wide receivers. I'm still laughing at that fucking what's his name? Galladay. That was the funniest.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
He's still Moss Slay.
Please don't say that because I'm shook because I read something that New England
was
thinking about
Slay.
Bringing him in.
The only touchdown he had that year.
Yeah, it was fucking Slay.
That's sad. I don't even. We could just glaze right over that.
He said, "Shit, I didn't mean to say that." And I like who was the kid that started going off late in the year?
Wanda Robinson.
No, the other one. Hodgins.
Yeah, he was nice. You can't expect him to be wide receiver 1, but He's a good role player for sure. And he'll
Like
get you
they
touchdowns
have.
and points
I'm not
and
gonna
shit.
lie. I would say they have decent receivers. Like I wouldn't be mad at their receiver room. You know, Wandale Robinson, Promise,
I'd be
Jalen Hyatt,
pissed.
rookie.
I would be pissed if it was with
And
my
they just
Hodgins.
added Waller. That's huge.
No,
That's
yeah,
I think
that you're
if he
right.
stays
That was
healthy,
very
if he
big.
stays
That was
healthy,
very
he'll be
big.
the safety
That
blanket.
kind of worried me for a minute. I was like, shit.
But
With
I mean,
Bellinger, that's pretty nice.
it can Sterling Shepard stay healthy? He would really help out that receiver core if he could stay healthy. Darius Slayton is consistent. I'm not gonna sit here and say like Darius Slayton's a world beater, but I
He's
think
my favorite on that team in that wide receiver room.
like
It's like,
he's a good receiver.
Yeah, toss that shit in the trash, boy.
trash. That shit stinks. That has smell like menthol, bruh.
I don't even smoke cigarettes. So that's a terrible joke.
Shane, tell him we ain't worried about the fucking Giants and Commanders.
No, dude.
Oh,
Hey, don't
bullshit.
sleep on the Commanders. I'm willing to bet the Commanders do better than the Giants, and if the Cowboys don't live up to what their built team is, like they have all the potential to compete for the division as per usual the last couple of years, but I would not sleep on the Commanders fighting
That's a
for.
I'm playing. Dude, hey,
That's a hot take, and I can get behind it.
you guys
I'm
know
telling
any division game during the season tough as shit. It don't matter.
We saw three people in our three teams in our division make it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
The
impossible.
USPS, I think.
but
Cowboys go 5-1 in the division.
the Giants, we
It's
swept
not
them.
happening anymore.
Like let's say
Cowboys go
Dak gets
5-1
another
in the
injury,
division.
right? Dak gets another
Same.
injury at any point for 6 weeks. Cowboys are not making it postseason. I'm telling
5-1
you
in the
right now.
division.
You heard him, Runner. You heard him.
Are we talking about everybody staying
If Dak,
healthy? Like
if
is that
Dak, no. If Dak is healthy, we're 5-1 in the division. Look at his numbers against that division. They can't beat him.
how certain are you? How certain
But
are
that
you
doesn't
that
last
Zach
forever,
Martin?
bro.
Oh, it's right here.
That's not gonna last forever. He definitely
Zach Martin
came
wants to
into
get
our
paid.
division and smoked us for mad long. No
Bro,
question,
y'all
no
were the number one.
arguments.
You were the number one ranked defense in the league. He came in fucking a week off of an injury and dropped 40 points on your fucking head. What do you mean?
Remember, we're talking about some regular season ish. That don't matter to the Eagles now.
Nah,
Eagles
yeah,
don't give
yeah,
a shit
yeah.
about regular season. We
Okay.
talking postseason.
You're facts.
That's a conversation Dallas
that
can't
argument,
have with us.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah,
can't
that's a
have
fact.
postseason
Right now,
conversations
yeah.
with the Eagles.
Right now,
You guys-
Still catch up.
Going back to that game, bro, we lost like what? It was 34-40. We lost by 6 points and almost had a game-winning drive with Minshew.
All right.
Hey,
All right, we're
That's
gonna
not on-
get back
that's
to
not on
free
Dak.
agency.
I
This
said,
thing-
hey, yeah, but
this-
didn't you say
hey.
yours is a top 5 defense
Hey.
too?
We're getting back to free agency because this ain't about fucking Eagles and Cowboys.
Yo,
all right?
fuck the Saints.
The fucking this is what the people came to see.
You want to get technical? The Eagles cannot beat the Saints in the playoffs. All right. You want to talk about
Yeah.
playoffs?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if you make it
let's
this year.
keep going.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So let's just roll into this. Who do you think is the most improved team this year? Anybody?
I'm going with
Falcons?
Lions. I'm going Lions.
I'm going with Houston, like I picked last.
Lions for
Like I
sure.
picked for the
Lions for
draft.
sure.
I love everything that they built over in Detroit, man. I love the pickups. I love the coach. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with
Coach
Goff.
is fire.
You know, they literally shipped him out and everyone shit on him. But if you think about it, bro, Goff was Burrow before he was Burrow, son. Like not and I don't mean he's not as good as him, but in terms of hype, in terms of energy, we loved Goff at first, and he kind of fizzled out.
Hell no, to the no, hell to the no.
You did not put Joe Burrow and Jared Goff in the same conversation, Aaron.
No, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Here we go.
In
Fucking
terms of
Parsons and
hype,
Singleton again. That's basically the same shit.
Who was that? Shane, who was that at the bar that we had that 30-second conversation and we started
That was
tweaking
D-Wade. That was D-Wade.
out?
Yo, you're
I
right
got-
though. Fucking the first 3 years, Golf was the shit.
That's what I mean.
No,
And he was
from
hyped
They
up.
went toe to toe. They had that game against the Chiefs. It was like what 55-51 or something. Went toe to
And he
toe with
was
Mahomes.
shipped off, bro. And everyone was like, he's irrelevant. You know, he's trash. He's never going to be good again. And then he went to the Lions, and we're like, okay, maybe he still got something in the tank, you know?
No, Jared Goff low-key is nice, but nobody has ever loved Jared Goff.
I don't believe that.
I haven't heard
In the
anybody.
beginning, I thought we all
I
loved,
appreciate
I thought we all loved Jared Goff.
I
in the beginning.
appreciated
I would-
having Jared Goff be the quarterback against New England a couple of years ago, where we won the shootout, that 13-10. I was happy to see him play quarterback there. I was happy to go against that.
Yeah, we were supposed to make it to the Super Bowl because that was just the most boring Super Bowl ever.
No, you're from what I remember, Isaac. You're a defensive guy. You know, you play safety, corner. You're scrappy. You should love that.
No, I did. It's just the fucking Rams made it boring.
Yeah,
He's
when
still
you're watching
salty.
it, you won an offensive game.
No,
Yeah,
they
I
just
gotta
did
go.
all that all season to go to the Super Bowl and look like shit.
Nicole Roby Coleman with that
Oh
penalty
shit!
on.
You're talking about that one. Yeah.
I gotta go Texans or Jags for me.
Yeah, they took a potential Breeze and Brady Super Bowl away from us. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, man, we're getting off topic. Sorry.
No, you're good. Sleeper though too, the Colts, bro. Sleeper though, the Colts. If Jonathan Taylor's healthy, you pair that with Anthony Richardson. If he gets the right kind of coaching and he really develops, bro.
With Shane Steichen, bro. Oh my goodness, that's dangerous.
That run game might be different.
Now he's got somebody bigger than Jalen Hurts running
That
his
O-line
system.
stays healthy.
I don't know. Does Indy have the outside threats to be consistent enough to relieve pressure from the run
Pittman.
game?
Me,
no,
as a North Carolina fan, I'm a huge supporter of Josh Downs. So, truthfully, I think Josh Downs is a dog.
I think he
was
helps,
like-
but tight end position, Mo Ali Cox,
Tyler Granton, and they got that what's that kid's name? That's like 6'7" from
Jelani Woods.
Yeah,
They got Alec Pierce too, Isaac.
Bro, it's fucking trash.
yeah, Alec Pierce. Yeah, he stinks.
I don't know. If I had to
Yeah,
say
he did.
two winners,
Trash.
you said we're still on two winners for free agency. I'm gonna stay in the division of both these teams. I think Cincy got better, which is kind of scary considering the trajectory they've been on. I think Orlando Brown kind of could put them over the top, and not always the biggest fan of them, but I'll give some respect where it's due. I think Baltimore. I think they made themselves better. Zay Flowers, even if Odell can give them 10 games, I think that
Yeah.
still helps them out. Their defense, I mean, they'll get a full
They
year
just
with
lost Peters.
Roquan.
They just lost Marcus Peters.
I don't.
But he was
I
getting old
like
anyway.
Peters, but Peters, he's not tackling you. Like he's really just looking to pick the ball off. Now,
Oh,
obviously,
hold
He's a
on.
good.
Let's take a-
big part to it.
He's a good
Let's take
corner.
a
It hurts
second.
losing it, but he's not the
Hey
greatest. Yeah, I
guys,
agree.
I just got the notification. Chargers and Justin Herbert have agreed to a 5-year,
That's
$262
old.
million. Is that old?
He said
Weren't we
that's
just
old.
talking about?
No,
Weren't we just talking about him getting $100 million
yo.
extension?
No,
Hold up, Isaac, hold it down. I gotta go get a
literally
drink.
He's
Right
literally
back.
getting paid $100 million in the year 2025. Like I don't know if that's his full cap hit, but
What
the
the
money
fuck?
he's making alone in 2025 is like $100 million.
Isaac, you hold it down.
That's crazy.
He tops whoever the next closest person was, or the person who set the mark was $80 million, which that's crazy in its own remark, but he tops it with like $100 million in I want to say it's 2025.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I like Herbert. I like Herbert a lot,
Me
but
too.
have you
But he don't
have
got
you
a
proven
playoff
it?
win.
What have you proven? What have you proven?
I think the coach. I don't know. I think he needs a different coach, but you could also blame Herbert for blowing that playoff loss because at the end of the day, you got to be able to continue to put drives together to get first downs to end the game or just keep scoring points, and he just wasn't able to do that.
I don't
At this
blame
point,
him for that. I blame their defense. You have two bookends.
That might have been the greatest
playoff
playoff game I've seen for a while.
Guys. Joey Bosa blew that game. He had 2 or 3 costly penalties in the fourth quarter
True.
that prolonged drives.
Yeah.
And when you pay those edge guys, like you guys know as Eagles fans, you don't necessarily pay the edge guys like Bosa and Khalil are paid because you guys have a plethora, but when you have those edge guys, like they need to make plays, especially those
Yeah, I
two.
agree.
They're paid to make plays in that moment, and they didn't do it. And let's be honest, Jacksonville's offensive line, especially their tackles, not great, not world
Dougie P
beaters.
though, Dougie P,
Yeah,
mastermind.
I like
he
that.
really gets some
I like
credit
that.
for that, man.
He's a mastermind.
Him and his quarterback really did some work in that. But
Like
that was
that,
an
like that.
amazing playoff game.
Yeah, like that play. They faked the sneak and swept to the right, and who was it? Ed Tony got like 30 yards, sealed the game. That was a fire play.
I mean, I know I heard Isaac with the Texans talk. I hear you. I don't know if I'm fully on board with that. Their offensive line still scares me. Their defense in certain parts, I don't know if they have like that yet. I'm a big Trevor Lawrence fan. I kind of believe in him and his luscious flowing hair and the big ass nose that he has.
Sunshine.
It's the horse.
Yeah, I don't see it like they're gonna go to the playoffs or something. I just see it like as they're gonna have the biggest turnaround. They had like 3 wins
They're
last
building.
year. They're gonna
Biggest improvement.
I think
Yeah.
they at least double that. At least get 5 to 6 wins, maybe. They're gonna.
That's all. Yeah, I hear you
I
on
think
that.
they
It's
double
all.
that.
It's all going to depend really on, no matter what, obviously, but how well does CJ Stroud play? Does he help you win more games or put you in a position to win more games than long neck Davis Mills or anybody else for that matter? And then like, is he going to show out? I mean, you're seeing a lot now in the NFL. I don't know what it is, but like, you got young quarterbacks just coming in and like a snap of the finger, they're winning games. They're
happy.
leading the league. They're leading the league.
Because quarterbacks get paid, man. They get paid. It makes sense for them to put everything they have because they're going to get the fattest contracts. You know what I mean?
Listen, if I ever have a son, he's going to be taught to either play soccer or he's going to be taught to be a quarterback.
Yo, that one guy got $776 million offer. That is crazy for 1 year.
You make mad bread in baseball too. Don't forget, you make mad bread.
Yeah, that too.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, but
my son had a kick because all NFL kickers suck. My son's gonna be the greatest kicker of all time.
Shout out to Brett Maher.
Yo,
Shout out
Justin
to your
Tucker.
boy Brett Maher.
He went to Denver.
Kickers score the most points typically, long term.
Justin Tucker and what's his name, Daniel Carlson, man, they're 2 of the most valuable players on that team. Daniel Carlson leads the Raiders in points every year.
Jake Elliott, the GOAT.
Lamar
Carlson
Jackson
might be the best player on the
has to
Raiders.
get to the 50-yard line. You get to the 50-yard line, you almost potentially have a chance every time to at least get 3 points, depending on which way the wind's blowing. That's crazy.
Bro, you know what's actually really crazy? Daniel Carlson is a top 3 player on the Raiders.
Yeah, he is. You look at his stats, he's like one of the top players. It's crazy.
Bro, he really is a top 3 player on the Raiders.
That's crazy. A kicker?
It's Devontae Adams and then who? Like who's really like
Max Crosby.
top 3?
Max
Crosby.
That franchise is so sad, man. They screwed that
Jimmy G.
franchise up, man.
Jimmy G.
Josh Jacobs, if you count him.
They
I
still
know
got
he
Jacobs,
hasn't signed yet.
Yeah, they got Jacobs, but
you got the one.
Daniel Carlson is still top 5 on that team.
Hunter Renfro.
Right, they're about to cut him, bro.
Yeah, he's about to
he
be
might be on the move.
He's potentially about to be cut.
Yeah, I saw a report.
You know he's coming to New Orleans.
He's coming to Philly.
He's coming right to New Orleans with Derek Carr.
He's
going to New England.
He'll still win 5 games.
But let's talk about the shit that we really know and the shit that we're scanning all day. You know what I mean? Because I know you guys are like me, so you're sitting there seeing your team's like content and what they're putting out all day. So we're gonna roll into it. This camp is starting. We're gonna go to the predictions for our team, and then some camp battles we're looking forward to, and then like some expectations and where we think we end the season at. And then we'll call it for show number 1 because we're about to touch an hour.
Or with these Eagle fuckers.
So yeah, we'll start with you guys. You guys can all like tag team this. Pause, because I know Taj is watching.
Hey,
so
yo.
Real quick. Pause.
The super
But yeah, so talk about camps and camp battles you guys want to see, guys fighting for positions, some guys on the edge of making the roster.
Are we doing like breakout players, position battles, all that?
Yeah.
All right.
You guys got new coaches. There's got to be shit
Yeah,
going on over there.
I think for one position battle that's going to be huge is the safety position. I guess you could say the only real starter, like marked down starter, I guess would be Terrell Edmonds from the Steelers. Then I think that's that other. Huh? Yeah, but he's a vet. He's really the only vet. The other ones behind him are rookies or second-year players.
It's going to be him. It's gonna be him and Reed Blankenship going into the season.
I was about to say,
I like that Blankenship.
Underrated.
I like
Blankenship. Underrated, man.
I like
Bro,
that
you
guy.
see the way he flies down the field and gets mad.
I told Alex, man, that's Harrison Smith Jr.
I saw CD spin him in the fucking 720.
Yo, stop.
Get out of here.
He's an undrafted rookie. Yo, wait till he catches a screen. Wait till he catches a screen and Reed comes flying down. He's gonna smoke him like he did Debo.
Well,
and make him fumble.
Blindsiding the receiver on a screen. That should happen to any fucking receiver.
Not when he's at the all the way back there.
Shane, just shut up.
All right, what about that position battle?
And Sidney
you're just
Brown.
making them drag their shit on.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Sidney Brown has a chance to start too. Again, there's no true starter. I'm just saying, basically, right now on paper, Edmonds is one of the starters. But he still has a chance to get cut. He was only 1 year deal. And obviously running back.
I'm going back to I'm just referring to Shane, but I think this year we actually have solid depth. It ain't like the past years where we lose somebody and be worried. And that's referring to Shane and his Cowboys, they have great depth all the time. So I'm excited to see what comes with the Eagles.
Receiver, I'd be a little worried if I was you guys. God forbid something happens to your top two.
Well, yeah.
But even then, even when that's happened in the past, there's always this guy, that comes out of nowhere that just fills the position that isn't an outright starter, but makes big plays, and we're like, who is this guy?
Say Brown does go down. I mean, we have a full running back room. Dallas Goedert, Smitty. You have Hurts. I mean, it's worrisome, yes, but it ain't the end of the day. I think we can still win games.
Aaron said you always got that guy who steps up, but who's that guy? You gotta at least know by now, by around this time of the year, who's that
Swift.
guy is.
It'd be
talking receiver. Up.
You saying if both of our receivers go down, Smitty and Brown?
No.
I was just saying if one of them. For me.
Oh yeah.
I was just saying
then we're still good. A lot of these teams
I think
don't
we'll still
have
be
good
all right.
wide receiver one or good wide receiver twos, but we also have Quez Watkins, who I think has a breakout year this year. He's due for it or he's gone. And whoever we signed from Atlanta is Zacchaeus or whatever.
Yeah.
He has a chance to beat out
Alamade Zacchaeus.
Is Devin Allen going to make the roster? Is he going to be able to do anything this year?
No.
He'll be practice squad.
But no.
I think we're good. If one of those top two receivers go down, I think we're good.
And from Shane Walsh's mouth, man.
If Smitty was the only receiver,
Smitty's a 1B.
Smitty is a 1B.
Y'all say we had to go get AJ Brown, bro. He was a rookie for one. Who was our other receivers? Jalen Reagor, and I couldn't even tell you the third one. Probably Britton Covey.
No. It's fucking Travis Fulgham.
Yeah, obviously all these teams are gonna shell cover or double cover the Heisman winner.
Jalen Reagor apparently better.
Who's your backup quarterback? Marcus Mariota?
Yes.
Yeah. You can't tell me we don't have a top backup.
He's a dog.
Quarterback.
I really don't.
He knows his position. He knows what he's there to do.
I don't think that's bad.
He's there to back up.
I'm more comfortable with that than Gardner Minshew, just because then we could keep the RPO offense going.
Runs the system.
Minshew mania.
Yep, like you guys said, runs the system for our system QB.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a man.
Dude, I'm confident, man. We got depth.
You guys are
We got Greg Ward and we got Quez Watkins in the.
Let me hear it.
Looking forward to.
I mean, in the wings.
Camp, what are you guys looking forward to? Training camp.
I want to see which running back comes out being the number one running back, because out of Swift, Penny, and Gainwell, I think either of them have a chance.
All right.
Oh, he's running back
comes
by
out as
committee, so everyone's going to get the ball. Everyone's going to,
yeah.
no one's going to get beat up.
Yeah, but I'm just saying as a featured back, like Miles Sanders was our featured back, but we still use Gainwell and Scott.
Oh, Swift's gonna be your feature back. She's young.
I
I'm excited.
honestly don't think we have one. I don't think we have
I
one.
like
Honestly, I think
Gainwell,
we have
but
3 guys that are going to touch the ball and do exactly what they're needed to do. I don't think anyone's going to be overly impressed by the Eagles' running back room. I think it's 3 yards, and we're happy with the 3 yards every time they touch the ball. Personally,
Shit, as a play caller, I'd be happy with 3 yards a clip because then you're looking at damn
you know
near
what I mean?
first
I
down
don't
off
think
of.
anyone's going in like me personally. I liked Miles Sanders a lot, and when he was healthy, he was very, very explosive. That was a guy you had to worry about. And not to say that our running backs aren't good, the ones that we got now, but it's one of those things.
Less than what he got paid.
I'm liking. I see Swift as equivalent to Miles Sanders, maybe better if he stays healthy.
Better,
and then you
better
have
pass catcher.
Rashad Penny, like as that like Garrett Blunt we had in 2017, and then you got Gainwell and Boston Scott.
Of those running backs, who's the power back in the Eagles' backfield though?
Rashad Penny.
So that's who I'm personally. That's who I'm most excited to see because that's what we need. We have these very talented, speedy, shifty guys. You need someone that's gritty. You need someone that's gritty.
Hold up though. You guys just named 4 backs. With how deep your team is now, you're really going to carry 4 backs? There's no way.
Someone's going to get cut, and I seen that Rashad Penny could be on the cutting block.
Catch out the backfield, so.
Because I think they like Boston Scott, they like Gainwell.
We already signed Scott and Gainwell.
They keep the 4 because Swift and Rashad Penny both have major, in my opinion, injury question marks. There's no way that anyone in the Eagles organization, the coaching staff, there's no way that they have full confidence that both or either one plays the significant part of this season. Now again,
Penny could be on the cutting block.
But no, I agree. You're gonna have to keep 4 because those 2 have like a long history of injury. Like even dating.
Whoever said that in the comments, that's what I would say too. We need 4 for our system.
But did they, when they were on their respective teams before they got to the Eagles, were they taking the majority of the carries on those teams?
No, because it was Swift and Jamal Williams.
Okay, but we can acknowledge Jamal Williams was the short yardage back. He had mad TDs, but he wasn't
coming from the 1 yard line inside the
so like
Swift wasn't healthy though.
Rashad Penny was supposed to be that in Seattle. He just never stayed healthy enough to be to consistently be on the field to get that. So they always
and their stats when they're healthy, they were top running backs in the league.
Yeah, I'm not worried about injury at the running back position from the Eagles from those guys because now we got
Jalen Hurts.
They're not going to get too beat up. We can swap them out and feel comfortable with the next guy that takes the field, as opposed to Miles Sanders, who we wanted to be the guy who takes the majority, and then we couldn't do that.
And then
I'm excited to see Milton Williams.
He
played 36% of the snaps and had 4 sacks, 9 tackle for losses, and like 95 tackles, and only played 36% of the snaps. That's nasty, bro.
Is he like a linebacker? Or?
Nah, he's a defensive tackle.
D tackle.
Okay.
9 tackles for losses, bro.
Yeah,
he's like one of Shane's backups.
You guys lost
the Cowboys D line. We got some nasty people too.
Dude, our D line is so deep, it's ridiculous.
But I think another like position, like not like a battle, but like I want to see how our backup tight ends perform too, because we like to use two tight ends sometimes. So I want to see how Jack Stoll and Calcaterra come out.
I agree with that.
I seen something about a Zach Ertz reunion.
If he goes down, if Dallas Goedert goes down, dude, I think that's probably the biggest hit.
That's huge, man.
Quarterback, because
you could see it last year.
He's gritty. He's a dog. He blocks and runs. Like he fits the Eagles' definition of like what we need at tight end. So like if he goes down, I think that kind of puts a wrench in our offense in a lot of ways.
You could see it last year when we didn't have him for those 3 or 4 games. I think he was hurt during the chance we had. We were able to lock up the 1 seed, and you could see that it hurt not having him out there. So I agree that's a big loss.
One last thing, Well, actually, two. I'm just going to tie them in together. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on Kobe Dean, just to see how he performs and
he's
becomes a
wearing the
leader.
mic,
Hopefully,
so
becomes
he's taking
leader.
the play
And then
calls.
as for the DBs, we know it's going to be Slay and Bradbury, but is there a possibility that Avonte Maddox loses his spot in the nickel?
To Kaylee
I
Ringo,
like
they're
Maddox
talking
a
about
lot.
that
I'm not
too.
gonna lie to you.
That's my favorite player.
I think
I
Maddox is
like
your
him a
best
lot.
player in your secondary.
Yeah.
He's my favorite player. He just has such a hard time staying healthy, and it irks me.
I think yeah. Personally, honestly, I like just from watching him play like my team. He plays the Cowboys better than Slay or Bradbury ever do. Because Slay and Bradbury get torched against us.
Yeah, Maddox was snapping that game.
Yeah, Maddox always balls out against us.
But
Well,
we
I
got
bless you,
greedy.
bless
We
you,
got
Slay.
Greedy Williams too. I think most of our cuts will be coming from the DB position.
Yeah, we got a lot of DBs.
Greedy Williams, but I'm good. Like for training camp, that's really like the priorities. I mean, it don't start till tomorrow, so.
All right, Rona, you can go.
You know, it's I get to be a Patriots fan in a division with don't know if I have a quarterback against Tua, who when he's healthy and not let me not be messed up. Let me not be mean about his seizure. Tua, Allen, you got Aaron Rodgers, at least relatively a legend. But
Your division is tough.
I'm not. I could be hopeful and say, yeah, we're gonna win 10 games based off of defense and hoping that Bill O'Brien, re-energizes the offense. He did give. He was the main factor in. Sorry, I'm about to use a name, and I just read something that his younger brother just got arrested for apparently planning to shoot up a school. But Aaron Hernandez and
saw
Gronk.
Yeah, damn.
But he almost like reinvented the idea of like 12 personnel or just having the two tight end system in the NFL with those two. I mean, Gesicki, I actually like that signing. I think because he could get split out wide, he could keep him in line. I'm hoping that with Bill O'Brien and that, I'm a breakout person for me. Someone that I'm really looking to see if they could take that next step is Ramondre Stevenson. I think he had a really really good year last year with Damian Harris being hurt. He seemed to do pretty well catching out the backfield too. So, I'm thinking he could maybe be one of these new running backs that totes the ball 20, 25 times. You could maybe get like 5 catches out of him a game, or at least 5 targets. I feel like the offense definitely runs through him. I mean, Cam Battles,
Devontae Freeman. Yeah, when Devontae Freeman was killing it on the Falcons, that's who he reminds me of, bro.
And I was not high. I was not high on Ramondre when he was initially drafted and everything. I didn't get it, but again, touched on that earlier, being a Patriots fan with draft picks But I mean, Cam Battles, love to see what the heck's going to happen out at receiver. Devontae Parker, talented, always hurt.
Juju.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm a big Kendrick Bourne fan. I'm hoping Kendrick Bourne finds that gets that production that he had 2 years ago when he first signed in New England. Tyquan Thornton, I don't know. Another really fast kid, but skinny. I don't know how much he'll be able to hold up. Offense, tight end, Hunter Henry and Gesicki.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
again,
you got
if they both stay healthy,
man, that's a good pickup.
Yeah, it is. That was probably one of my. That was probably I'd probably say that's my favorite pickup that New England had this offseason.
In New England now.
Big witty.
Another breakout person.
I like Booty too. I like Keyshawn Booty too. While you're talking about receivers, didn't y'all pick up Keyshawn Booty or whatever?
Yeah.
Booty.
6 or
His name's
7
Booty.
Yeah, his last name is Booty. Keyshawn Booty.
Man,
Super
he gonna get
talented
roasted
kid.
if he actually is Booty.
He was a super talented kid. I think he went off his freshman year at LSU and then apparently just had a lot of attitude or whatever issues within the program. But Belichick in this Patriot way bringing talented but attitude problems or whatever, you know, stuff in their background. But I'm excited to see Josh Uchi be the edge guy opposite of Judon. I think Judon's going to get a lot of attention. Uchi had, I believe, 8 sacks last year. I think that helps. I think New England probably is a top when it comes to like personnel packages, sub packages. They probably are top 5 in how many DBs they play per snap. Per play. I think the super sub packages, Duggar probably playing some linebacker, this Marte Mapu kid, Adrian Phillips. They got a lot of guys that they could play safety, linebacker, slot, corners. I think corner will be a solid grouping, but I mean someone's gonna have to take up the leadership role and the deep safety role for Devin McCourty. That hurt me when he retired.
I was
That
just
was
about to ask
painful.
who are your safeties. Adrian Phillips is one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
Safety.
like the safety group. I just don't know who I'd categorize as like a deep safety, like more of a coverage
Duggar.
safety. I
I
feel like
like the
New England,
Duggar guy.
I love Duggar, but I don't like. Can he be that coverage guy, or is he more just like one of those big bruisers that you put in the box, you put on tight ends, so
Kyle
on?
Duggar's nice, man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
J-Ron
I feel like
Kirshner.
he's
Another
He's real
solid.
J-Ron.
I'm
he's a
not gonna
hybrid.
lie.
I feel like.
Not gonna lie, he was drafted. I was angry. I'm like, I have no idea where Lenore Ryan is. Didn't even really know how to say it. I'm like, here we go again, and bro does his thing. I don't know, but that would be my
Bowl game.
stuff. I mean, as an outlook, like I said, the in my opinion, everything rides on Bill O'Brien and what he's able to do with the offense. If he's able to get the offense to I mean, it's not difficult to be more productive than the crap that they put out last year. So even the slightest tick up should have a top 10, maybe potentially even top 5 defense based off of how people play, how personnels play. Definitely think they're top 10. I don't know about top 5, but I definitely think they're a top 10 group. And like I said, it's going to be on the offense. The offense is going to be the reason that New England either wins 10 games or wins somewhere between 6 and 8, maybe 9.
Let me ask you this: is there any competition between Zappy and Mac Jones, or is that just dead?
I really don't think there is. I think a lot of the guys, and when you take Mac Jones in the first round, Zappy being, I want to say he was a 4th rounder. I think you're gonna give more of a leash to that first round guy just because the money he's
He's
making.
on the hot seat this year.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I don't think that's fair to him though, because when he had Josh McDaniels, he went to a Pro Bowl. He had decent numbers. I'm not saying like he lit it up or anything. He had decent numbers. Then he has Joe Judge, failed head coach, and Matt Patricia.
Horrible.
Matt Patricia, failed head coach. Bro's not
He's
even
a defensive
decent.
guy. Yeah.
I'm just like you have two. I mean, Matt Patricia has like a degree in like astrophysics and has never called an offense until he was in the NFL. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I mean, I would give him more slack as a fan just because he had an OC his rookie year, went to a Pro Bowl, team did decent, wasn't crazy but decent. His second year, he has nobody really being able to help him, help coach him, help raise his game. So I think Bill O'Brien comes in and, well, I hope and think that he comes in and changes the culture and is able to be a voice in Mac Jones's ear that's positive to help take him to another level. I won't say the next level, but at least another level. Quarterback play is going to be huge in the AFC East, in my opinion. Your QB's ball out, your team should be able to follow suit.
All right, Isaac, go ahead.
We got Derek Carr.
Derek
Carr.
First,
listen, I think
I'm
New
gonna say
England
with Derek
plays
Carr.
the Saints. I think they go to New Orleans. My fault. I was just saying that I think New England goes to New Orleans this year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. But we got Derek Carr. I like the pickup. I think it's gonna work. A lot of people say he's mid, this and that. Yeah, he played in Las Vegas or Oakland. One thing I'm gonna say is Oakland never ever even had a top 20 defense while he was there. So his whole career he's been playing from behind, and if you look it up since 2013, since he entered the league, he has the most game-winning drives in all
Yeah,
of
he's
the
clutch.
NFL.
People don't respect
So,
Derek Carr.
so just imagine him with the last 4 years, our defense finished top five. So imagine him with a top five defense, not having to play from behind every single game of the season. I think he'll do all right. He ain't gonna have all the pressure on him every fourth quarter of every game of the season. So that I like. Competition battle is between Paulson Adebo and Alontae Taylor for our number two corner spot. That's probably our biggest battle right now. Because other than that, every part of our defense is solidified. We still got Marcus May, Tyron Matthew back there, Pete Werner, Demario Davis. Well, I would say D tackle too. Now that we drafted these young guys and stuff. So other than that, that's probably really our only position battle. You could probably say Olave's clearly our number one now with MT always staying hurt and all that shit. So I would say the battle for the number two receiver too. Love our quarterback room. Got fucking Jameis backing up. That's
Jimmy Graham.
that's great.
You got Jimmy Graham too.
Tight end room is crazy. You got Jawan Johnson, Foster Moreau came with Derek Carr over. Then you got Taysom Hill, who's still a tight end in the depth chart. You bring Jimmy Graham in. Yeah, our running back room with Kamara, Jamal Williams, and we drafted Kendre Miller, and we have Eno Benjamin. O line, the depth is crazy. I think like what Shane says, we probably got one of the craziest depths in the NFL. Like a lot of like last year and the year before that, when we lost a lot of games, was because we were not healthy, but we had a lot of players come in play. That's why you see guys like Caden Ellis going to get a bag in Atlanta because he came in for Pete Werner and fucking balled out. You see, our backup guys always going somewhere to get money, so that's a good thing. We signed Trey Turner today and Max Garcia, two veteran interior O linemen to back up Pete and Ruiz. Uh, so I mean, I don't know. I feel like our team is just set. It's ready to rock and roll. We got all the pieces we needed in places. Our depth is everything we need right now. Rashid Shaheed, that's who I'm like, ooh, can't wait for him this year. That guy was limited in touches last year, and almost every time he touched the ball, he scored. Rashid Shaheed.
How many games you think MT plays?
MT, if he could, I'm gonna just say if he could just give us at least 10, he'll make an impact. It's not about, cause to me, MT, you seen it last year. His injury didn't change him as a player, but it changed his availability. He's just always hurt. The
Is
last
he
two games he
100%
played,
healthy right now?
yes,
Going into
he's
camp?
good. He's good to go to start tomorrow. He's 100%. Like I said, the two games he played last year, 3 touchdowns, fucking going on top of AJ Terrell's body, just went off on him, and he's a top corner. Like, if he could just stay healthy, he's still that guy. So to
Yeah,
me, it's not about the play
definitely.
declined or none of that. The play didn't decline. He's still him. He just got to stay healthy. And so far, haven't heard anything on Kamara's suspension. I even watched Dennis Allen, his interview today. He said still nothing from the NFL on his suspension. I don't know if y'all heard about his whole beating dudes up. It got turned from a felony to a misdemeanor. Still nothing. So I mean, I don't know, man. We got a kicker battle. I guess that's the craziest thing I'm hearing right now. They ready to get rid of Luck. Like, I mean, ain't nothing too crazy, man. I'm just excited. I can't wait for tomorrow. I guess that's it.
I'll say 6 games. You win.
Yeah.
I'll give him 8.
With our division, Carolina, Atlanta, Tampa,
Nah, I think
we're
you guys definitely have a chance to fucking win the division.
that's it. We got to play
Carr's
them
not
just 6
bad.
games
I
at
was
home.
I was upset when Carr broke his leg. I think it was 2016 when they had a chance to win it all. So that's what I was hoping for.
He's
Hey,
going off.
and I didn't tell you though. Well, I did tell you all this before, but the Falcons and us have the easiest schedule in the whole league.
Yeah.
So I think Shane was talking about it. Me and Shane was talking about it. Really, the only good quarterback we really see all year is literally in Jacksonville when we got to go see Trevor Lawrence. That's literally the only good quarterback we
Yeah,
really got to
yeah,
see
you
this
don't
year.
see some very good quarterbacks.
Unless you want to say Jordan Love, we don't. Nobody elite. Put it like that. Like we don't.
Jordan Love
So
might be
and
all right. When he
the
went
way
in
our
against
defense
us, he was
plays,
dotting us up.
the
So,
way
like,
our
ranking
opponents
wise, it's
look, and
all
the way
bottom of
our
the half.
defense plays, I'd say we lead the league in turnovers this year.
Yeah, you have a chance.
Do you think
But
the Saints have enough edge guys this year?
that's what I was just gonna say. That was our biggest
My fault.
thing last year is to get the edge. We let go of Davenport. We have Turner. We drafted Foskey, so he's obviously unknown right now. We got young pieces. We have Carl Granderson. I actually been liked him more than um, Davenport the last couple of years, but they just obviously just kept fucking dick riding Davenport. So I feel like we're
Okay.
gonna be a little better because I think he's been better. Uh, and I also saying something about we're going after the Yannick Ngakwe dude, so we might not be done.
That'd be a good
So
pickup.
we get Yannick Ngakwe with Cam Jordan, and the rest of the guys are just. Because I feel like our depth is better than our
He
line
gives you
right now.
like 10 sacks a year.
Yeah, our depth is good. We got that Colin Saunders dude from Chiefs that do tackle too. I don't know. Got some all right pieces. I just hope Brissy can stay healthy and play like freshman Clemson. When he first pulled up, he was projected to be a top 5 draft pick coming out of that year. So if he could play like that, Brissy, then we could be tough. Sure, for sure.
I'm a big Brian Brsee fan.
All
He
right,
was
good, Shane.
you watch
I'm
his
up.
tape. He's not.
Insert shit down.
Yep.
I guess the obvious thing every year in Dallas, everybody wants to say it's like Super Bowl or bust. But like for me, my outlook for the season is like just get me to an NFC Championship game, win or lose. Give me like let me see the chance of actually getting there, bro. That's all I need to do. You know what I mean? Um, I say this every year, but I think the easiest way to say it is every year since Dan Quinn has been here, bro. The defense gets better every year. Every year. And even on paper, there's more names now again, so it's going to be even more of a jump. Look at Aaron smiling over there. He's got some shit to say. He's
Well, it's
thinking.
just because your team's calling Super Bowl, bro. Your team's not calling NFC Championship,
Yeah,
bro. Your whole team, your star
That's,
players are calling, saying
that's,
they're being
yeah,
true
but
Dallas players and saying we are going to the Super
they
Bowl.
fuck,
So for you to be
that's,
they
like,
fucking
Not
suck.
just
you need to
going. They're
see the
saying they're
NFC
winning it.
team. Yeah,
They're
dude.
saying
So
they're
it's like
winning
you
it.
need to either ride with your team, like be with your guys who are saying we're winning a
There's a
Super
lot of
Bowl,
cry.
or
they
just
Lot
have
of
to
don't
have
say
that
crybabies
nothing at
in
energy,
all
though.
Dallas.
because
What you got to
let
realize
them
is they
look
have to
bad.
have that energy,
Don't let
bro.
yourself
And like
look
the thing
bad
about the
too.
Cowboys, the thing about bro, I'm not a player. The players have to have that mentality. If you're playing football and that's not your
But they don't
mentality, then why the
always,
fuck
and
are you
this year
playing
they
the game?
do. So
We have that mentality every year. We've had that. I'll say we've had that mentality since Micah was drafted because Micah brought that mentality.
well, I ain't see it.
It's crazy.
He said there's a lot of
And
crack
honestly, the
babies in Dallas.
number one thing for me is like the locker room energy is crazy, bro. You can tell everybody's vibing. Like your boy from the
You
middle of
have to.
nowhere, Lancaster, is
Your
out
team has
there on
been
fucking vacation
underperforming
with
with
that
a
Prescott.
talented
That
roster
tells
for
you that the
5
locker room
years.
is
Of
vibing.
course.
You know what I mean? So,
Aaron,
biggest thing
let
for
the man
me,
speak.
yeah, for real.
Go ahead.
Biggest thing for me, training camp
Said let
wise,
the man speak.
new offense. Mike McCarthy's calling the plays. I want to see what the changes are. I want to see how Dak is in it. I want to see if he has command. Um, Obviously, the one battle I want to see is who takes the RB2 spot. It's a question mark. You got Malik Davis back there. You got Rico Dowdle back there. You got Deuce Vaughn back there. You got Peyton Barber. It's up for grabs. Obviously, TP's RB1. That's no question. But I don't think TP has the body to withstand 30 carries a game, and I don't think we want to do that to TP anyway, because we're going to slow him down. So that RB2 position, in my opinion, is going to be huge, especially with the way the Cowboys like to run 12 personnel with our tight ends, especially now that we have Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot. We went out and got fucking I can't think of his name right now. Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan in the draft.
That's my boy.
Yeah,
Trade that nigga over to us.
So, like, I'm excited to see what this offense is. I mean, a lot of the Cowboys players, it's a West Coast offense. It's Mike McCarthy's team, but a lot of the Cowboys players are calling it a Texas coast because it's a mix of different things from around the league. So I'm excited to see what that is. You know what I mean? I trust Big Mike. Everybody can talk their shit on Mike McCarthy, but Mike McCarthy is a Hall of Fame coach in the NFL. You can check the numbers. He's a Super Bowl winning coach.
He's got a Super Bowl win, yeah.
He has a career winning record. He led
He's a
the
good
Cowboys
coach, yeah.
He led the Cowboys to back 11+ win seasons. Even last year with the hurt quarterback, and that's another question mark for me too. Like, honestly, everybody wants to ride this Cooper Rush shit. I think Cooper Rush fucking sucks.
I was gonna say you got a QB controversy.
No, I think Cooper Rush is terrible. That's one thing that I wish the Cowboys could actually take seriously and address. I would like to see a guy like Teddy Bridgewater. So I wouldn't even be mad if they brought in a Carson Wentz.
Who's your backup now?
Cooper Rush.
You guys don't ever have like a competitive.
I dive in the film.
Dude,
I break in.
If I fucking see Carson Wentz in a Cowboys uniform, I'll throw up.
That's the thing, though. Carson Wentz has been in big games. Like, he's been in big games. He's played in high-powered offenses. And if Dak goes down, yeah,
dude, just brought the fucking red rifle back.
That shit would just hurt my soul still.
I wouldn't be mad at Andy Dalton.
You already seen him play for the Commanders.
Y'all should just brought the red rifle.
Fans ran him out of town.
Yeah, but Dallas is worse than the Commanders.
Realistically, though, but if you give me a guy like Teddy, Bridgewater, I'm more confident than Cooper Rush. You know what I mean?
Bro,
yeah,
Teddy Bridgewater is nice, bro. He went 6-0 with us when Drew went down, bro. He commanded.
I like Bridgewater. Yeah. I wish he would come be a backup for Philly.
Did Minshew sign anywhere?
Yeah, Colts.
I think he's still in Indy.
Yeah. Other than that, another big battle on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, you know our first three receivers are going to be CD, MG, and Brandon Cooks. I heard Brandon Cooks is just flying around, bro. I heard his speed on the field just makes all the most difference. He's actually Dak's roommate at camp right now, which is huge.
You know where he came from.
My question is, who emerges as wide receiver 4? Because especially in a West Coast offense, and if it's what I know from Mike McCarthy, there's going to be 4 receivers on the field. That's
Jose Barbin.
Turpin, probably.
I've seen shit with Turpin being on the field, but to me, I want to see Jalen Tolbert take that jump, bro. Because Jalen Tolbert, to me, was like a mixture of kind of like CeeDee Lamb with like Michael Gallup, just not playing the talent in college. But then he went to the Senior Bowl, and he was out there torching people at the Senior Bowl. Then he gets to Dallas, and he learns this Kellen Moore offense with 37,000 fucking option routes, and he can't keep up with it, you know what I mean? So last year was kind of a redshirt season for him. He lined up at free safety on one play against the Packers, ended up getting an offsides call, you know what I mean? That's the last time you saw Jalen Tolbert. So
that's crazy.
I do want to see what he brings. Another name that you could throw into the mix is Simi Fehoko, bro. People forget about Simi Fehoko, but when at Stanford, bro, Simi Fehoko was him, bro. It was him. He's a 4'3" guy. He's 6'4". He's been in the offense now for 2 years. He's very Dak friendly. He's around Dak a lot. He gets along with the guys. He's very intricated into the locker room. He's another guy you can throw into the mix. And then another name that you can throw into the mix. At least you could hear me, Isaac. You sounded like you fucking someone had your nuts in a vice grip.
So you sounds like a
yeah.
But I thought you said I sound like a bum. But not another name, Dennis Houston. Dennis Houston to me was a weird like phenomenon because he started week 1. Man started against the Bucs week 1, right? Then he didn't see him again. He just dropped to the practice squad. Like he made the roster, he was in our starting lineup, and then he just finished. It made no sense. But moving to the defensive side of the ball, there's not many question marks. I guess if you're gonna put a question mark, it's gonna be in our linebacking core because what's really behind Vander Esch is kind of unseen. But to me, if you're a college football fan and you really dive into football, you know what Damone Clark is. Damone Clark is an absolute freak. So I'm excited to see what Damone Clark is going to be. Coming off that neck injury is kind of scary, but he played last year. He made some plays last year. You could tell he was kind of a little lost in the sauce and just relying on just being an athlete. So I want to see what he does now that he understands the NFL game. I'm a huge Damone Clark fan. I want to see where that goes. And then Devin Harper and Jabril Cox are probably the last battle in the linebacking room. And then obviously one matchup I'm excited to see, which I really can't wait till these videos come out because it might break the internet for Cowboys fans. Mozzie Smith versus Tyler Smith in one-on-ones. I want to see those two dogs go at it. I want to see them go
that's
at
my
it, bro.
boy.
Bro, last year, 2 years in a row, when we drafted Tyler Smith, I was like, who the fuck did we just draft, bro? But that kid is an animal, bro. He easily slid the left tackle last year, and you wouldn't have even noticed he was playing a separate position than where he practiced all offseason. Then he slid back to left guard. Then he slides back to left tackle. Bro, Tyler Smith is a specimen, bro. And if you don't know about it, you gotta ask somebody. He was one of the highest graded run back blockers in the league. My mouth is dry. In the league last year. And then on top of that, you gotta pay Zach Martin. If you're not gonna pay Zach Martin and restructure, I think it's time to start shopping him. He's 33 years old, and he's still the best guard in the league. If you're not going to restructure him, you're setting a bad precedent. Never in Dallas history has anybody really done that, and it's at a bad time. That's why you saw Trayvon Diggs get paid today because
we'll buy that nigga.
You think he's still a first round pick at 33?
Zach Martin is still the best guard in the NFL. Yes.
Yeah, but I think if we were to trade Kelsey, I don't even think we would get a first because of his age.
But Kelsey statistically, and Kelsey is still a top 5 center, but Kelsey has shown
top 5. He's
Zach
top
Martin,
2.
You're crazy.
Zach Martin has shown no decline in his game at all.
Well, neither has Kelsey. He's still a top 2 center. You can't say he's not a top 2 center.
No, he's not. I'm a huge fan of Jason Kelsey. It's hard for me to explain what I'm kind of saying. But obviously, age is kind of catching up with Kelsey, and he'll even admit it himself. Zach Martin, you don't see it, bro. Zach Martin has 5 holding penalties in 9 seasons as a pro. He's allowed maybe 4 sacks in his entire career. The man is a dog, bro.
I could see a desperate team doing it.
But you also got to
agree
realize you got to
with
pay
what you're
Terrence
saying.
Steele. You got to pay Terrence Steele, who's a 24-year-old right tackle, arguably one of the best blocking tackles in the league as well. You know what I mean? Then you got Tyler Byadatis, your center, who's a 24-year-old center, who's also up for contract next year. You know what I mean? So you got to – it's a business at the end of the day. And I think the Cowboys' problem is we hold on to our players way too long rather than actually getting the value for them when there still is value. As a Patriots fan, Rona, that's one thing you guys do phenomenal. You get value out of your vets before they have no value left. So
I agree. Now, but also with that Zach Martin point though, I think he is the biggest cog in your Dallas Cowboys offense. I think without him, I'd be scared of the run game. I'd be, especially with Tony Pollard coming off that injury. If it was a different injury, I probably wouldn't have as much concern. You know what I mean? For me, that those type of leg breaks, especially with his type of agility and everything, that would concern me. And then obviously the protection, keeping Dak upright, giving him the ability to climb in the pocket, move out, whatever he has to do. I think not having Zach, I think that would be a huge loss.
Don't get me wrong. I want
It's
Zach
your
Martin
vet.
back. I want Zach Martin to be restructured. I don't want Zach Martin to play in any other uniform. So let me reiterate that I don't want this to happen. But say one of these young guys like Matt Farniok steps up, or Austin Richards that you just drafted shows that they can be a guy. All right, so now you can free money. You could get cap off. You got to pay CD. You got to pay Micah. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's context to it. Hard. It's not a decision I want to make. And also, if you cave to Zach Martin too early, for me, I would call his bluff because he's losing $50,000 every day that he holds out. So I would call his bluff. You signed a 5-year contract, bro. You signed that contract. At that time, you were the highest paid guard in the league. You know what I mean? Contracts change, especially at this point in your career. To me, I would think you want to win a ring. I would think money is the last thing you're worried about because you're already talking about retirement.
Yeah, so go somewhere else. If you want a ring, get out of there.
I got one question. I got one question for you because you touched on the Mike McCarthy thing. I personally I'm on the opposite side. So are you saying that as a Dallas Cowboys fan, games on the line, there's a critical decision or something critical that he either needs to do as a coach or as a play caller or both? You have faith in Mike McCarthy not screwing it up.
All right, so
Because I'm on the opposite.
Let me put it like this, because Cowboys fans don't really understand. Kellen Moore is what I call a Jerry Jones son. When Mike McCarthy took the job, he was told that this is Kellen Moore's offense. You really have no say in it. You're supposed to oversee him. If you watch the Packers game last year, that's the game that Mike McCarthy wanted. Obviously, it's his first game back in Lambeau coaching. Clock was running down. We ended up losing in OT. Mike McCarthy lost his shit. If you listen to the press conferences after that, that's when Mike McCarthy aired everything out. Talked about how he was like this. He was talks about how he hates option routes. Talks about how his insight was never heard. Talks about how his insight was never heard, and that's when pretty much him and Dan Quinn went to Jerry Jones and was like, "If you want to keep us, you get rid of Kellen Moore because he's a fucking bum."
I'd have been like, if I was Big Mike, I'd have been like, I got a Super Bowl.
That play with Dak running the draw, that was Kellen Moore's call. Dak didn't call that. Mike McCarthy didn't call that. That was Kellen Moore's call.
Yeah, that was crazy.
A lot of the time management things, like, I definitely hear you. Like, Mike McCarthy can get better with time management. I agree. Sometimes he does shit that's weird, but I personally like Mike McCarthy as a coach.
He's not a bad coach. I agree. He's not a horrible coach. He's Super Bowl winning coach.
In a way, him and Dan Quinn are both the head coaches of this team. We kind of have like a head coach tandem. Like, to me, Dan Quinn's our head coach without being our head coach.
To be honest, I would see Dan Quinn more as your head coach and Mike McCarthy. Touching on that Super Bowl that he has, is that really him, or is that the team, the players that he had? Now, obviously, I understand, like, you definitely need your dogs, you definitely need players, but, like, you're talking about a prime Aaron Rodgers, you're talking about a prime, you're talking about his connection with Jordy Nelson.
I give
all the
them
other pieces and
they
everything.
beat a really good. They beat a really good Steelers team that year.
And didn't Charles Woodson? Wasn't he still on Green Bay?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
So for me, the thing that puts it over the edge for me is, like, out of all my years as a Cowboys fan, this is the most tight-knit I've ever seen a coaching staff. They look like they get along. Everybody's talking. Everybody's engaging. Everybody's coaching. If you watch the Cowboys on Hard Knocks, Kellen Moore, you won't even see Kellen Moore on screen. He doesn't say a word to Dak Prescott. He doesn't say a word to anybody. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Kellen Moore was like a phantom signing. When he got the job, I'm like, okay, you were a nothing quarterback in the pros.
That's what we were like. Yeah.
I was like fucking celebrate, woo!
They told us he was an offensive genius. They lied to us so bad. Fuck the Joneses.
That's just because of what he did at Boise State in college, right? But Boise State didn't do anything with that.
Nah, that was a good. He put an end to that.
Our locker room's gelling. Like you guys said, we have depth. I won't even start naming our defensive line because that shit will go on for days. We have depth.
You do it all the time.
We have a great coaching staff from top to bottom. I like Brian Schottenheimer. I like that he was on the defensive side of the ball last year, so now he sees different things. You know what I mean? I like the fact that he's mentoring Dak. I like the fact that Dak finally has a real mentor in his ear, not Jason Garrett and fucking Kellen Moore. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. This might be MV Dak this year. This might be MV Dak.
Oh my gosh!
The first time in his career that he doesn't have Kellen Moore in his ear in 8 years.
Hey, I already put on FanDuel Lamar Jackson for MVP.
What happens if he shits the bed?
Then it's time for a different conversation, I guess. I don't know.
You see his voice change. He got all upset. Like, don't
if he shits the bed, he'll still try to argue that shit. No, this time it was Mike, man. It was Mike this time.
Lamar Jackson winning MVP. Man.
Bro, you guys can't even blame me for that. That shit is really epic.
Oh my God.
Film, bro. We're in a playoff game on 3rd and 9, and he sends Terrence Steele out on a fucking pass route while CeeDee Lamb's on the sideline. That's Dak Prescott's fault.
Shane, I'm just playing, bro. As a division and like Eagles fan, fuck Dak Prescott. But as a football fan, bro's him.
That nigga Dak threw that motherfucking pick against the Niners. It was over, nigga.
Yeah, but look. That's actually you proved my point, Isaac. If you think about it, when that pick happened against the Niners in the red zone, right? It's right after Tony Pollard got hurt. So everybody knew where the ball was going. Everybody knew where the ball was going. It's 3rd and 4. We run all hitches, and Dak's number one read is CD Lamb. What do you mean? Like, that's not on him. You can't. You run all hitches from everywhere. There's no other route on the field. It's the NFL.
I mean, he could have took off running.
No, he couldn't because Nick Bosa was in his fucking grill.
You better fucking take that sack, boy.
Oh my god.
On a defensive side.
Let Brett Maher miss another field goal. No, thank you.
He did y'all dirty at the end of the
to
year.
fight another play.
That guy really sold on you guys.
I don't even like Roger Goodell like that.
Yo, if I was Jerry that game, I'd have came down from the press box and slapped Maher, nigga. Like,
that was
don't fuck in my pants. Everybody now for FanDuel.
Isaac, that took him 5 years to get down there.
That's another thing too.
This old ass probably got an elevator just to go down to the field.
Nah, bullshit. That motherfucker got a jetpack.
Bro, I was watching an interview. I'm watching an interview today. They asked him 2 direct questions, right? Jerry Jones talked for 5 minutes, didn't answer a single part of either question. I'm like, yeah, dude, he's done.
He'd probably be high for it.
Steven Jones incoming.
He'd be off catnip and shit.
Off catnip. He got that meowana.
Would you have concern, Shane, as a Cowboys fan, if Micah gets treated like Aaron Donald or like a new age version of LT, and he like the opposing offense, that's their main focus? Would you be nervous? Like, I know you got DeMarcus Lawrence, you got other names like that, but obviously like Micah's that dog. If he gets taken out of a game or like out of big games or big moments, do you trust? Do you have enough faith in what else you have on the roster to help pick up the slack?
Well, for me,
what happened in San Fran.
For me, with our defense, our offense only has to score 24 points on average to beat most teams because our defense is not going to allow more than 21 points in most games. So, what you're saying about Micah, I think the next step in Micah's game to really solidify him as what you're talking about as that Aaron Donald, Lawrence Taylor, is him answering to those. Because last year the Eagles did take him out of the game with RPOs. They made him the number one read. You know what I mean? So I think the next step in Micah's game for him to really
RPOs are dead now, though.
Yeah, I know. It's him learning how to really counteract when a line is sliding his way. When he's got a right tackle, a left guard, and a running back chipping him. But you also saw him answer that in the 49ers game because he threw Kittle like a bitch and then fucking hip toss McGlinchey like a child. You know what I mean?
So is it you're true like he's only playing one position this year? Is he like sticking to just the end?
Dan Quinn deaded that. He's like, no, Michael will play where I tell him to play. But at the same time, though, I like our young linebackers. They're unproven, other than LVE, so it's really hard.
Isaac, what'd you do? You fart?
I'm
he
watching.
said, God damn.
Yeah, I didn't see him. He said, God.
But yeah, the
biggest hits of last year.
As for like me being confident on what's behind him, like if say Micah gets taken out of a game or God forbid like Micah gets hurt, obviously it's not going to be the same defense. But you got Sam Williams, who I think is literally Micah's twin. He can't play linebacker like Micah, but when we're talking about pure rusher, bro, Sam Williams when he was on the field last year was an absolute fucking menace. And then we just drafted Valimi Fehoko, which was a 3rd, 4th round pick. He's a project, but you watch film on that kid, man. He's one of those blue collar guys. He's gonna go to work. He's very Dan Quinn friendly. Once Dan Quinn gets his hands on him, you know what I mean? That kid could be something special. So there's a lot behind it, and I think Mozzie is dude. Like that pick. I was like, what the hell? But the more I dive into the film, the more I really watch that kid, and I think about what happened to us and Jonathan Hankins being like 33. Bro, that pick was phenomenal.
Hey, look at this bum. Look at this bum.
Carrying my Oso Diggy on the inside, man. Good luck.
Look at this nigga bum.
That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't know if you guys got anything, but
that's it for me.
I'm good.
We'll be back. We'll announce when we'll be back. We'll let Cam kind of play out.
Niggas getting boom.
Isaac's off the heady. It's time to roll.
There's no more talk about me ducking shit. That's dead now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Obviously, it's only camp. It's
listen,
only camp. So
Aaron.
the show.
Aaron, you do back to back, I'll fucking believe it.
All right, I got you. I respect it.
Chris Olave gonna be top 10 this year.
Here's the facts behind it, man. It's just training camp. I mean, only people that are really going to be interested in this are the people that are really the football junkies. Once the season starts, it's going to really start popping off. Shows are going to be more interesting. The debates are going to be hot. Me and Aaron alone can run a show for 4 hours and just talk back and forth with no contact and just go. So,
we know.
It seems like all of us can. This shit could be like fun.
Yeah. And like honestly, I'm thinking we might just scrap the script because half the time we end up just freestyling anyway, and it's better than half the shit we have on the script anyway. So we'll talk about it. We'll get better. That's what the shows are for. All about growth. Like, subscribe, and share.
What's your boy saying?
Go Birds. Go Birds.
Peace. Go Birds.